Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is your hostess with the mostest, Queen Karizma, and I'm back with another YouTube video and Karizmaspeaks podcast. I want to first thank everyone who supported the last podcast. I appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate y'all liking the video. I appreciate everyone who subscribed. We had over 200 subscribers, so thank you so much. For the most part, it was positive feedback. And, we're going to just keep it going. We're going to keep this conversation going because I think it is important. And to be honest, I wasn't even going to come back on here to talk about this subject because what I don't want it to seem like is that I'm milking this conversation. But I feel like through my observation these past couple of days that it is definitely worth talking about what I've been seeing in regards to Nyla Says and her Grown Woman Vibes YouTube channel being deleted and the method she's taking to getting it restored. So again, everything is from my own opinions. Anything that I cannot prove is alleged. All of my commentary is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously. Please formulate your own opinions, do your own research, and please be respectful in the comment section. And I appreciate everyone who has already. Now let's get right into it. So the past, I'll say past 3 to 4 days, I've been looking into what Nyla has been doing to get her channel back and kind of just seeing the atmosphere, because we got a lot of feedback from the supporters of Nyla, actually, people who have subscribed to her channel, who was subscribed, who was a member. They are the ones mostly who left comments about their experiences being in her live chat, commenting on her channel and trying to, speak their opinion. Now, I don't know. I can't say how they approached the conversation with their opinion. I don't know if some people could have been rude, which sparked a reaction. So we do have to consider that. If you are coming in to anyone's live chat rude or comment section rude, a lot of the times you will get that same energy back. Now, we have certain content creators like myself who have grown to realize that there's no point in arguing with a fool or ignorant person, because all that does is make you look ignorant. And as content creators, we are held at a higher standard and we should be the bigger person, regardless of how it may make us look to an ignorant person. We should always be the bigger person. So over the years, I've learned not to engage with ignorant people. I just simply block them, and I leave room for the people who have a respectful opinion and who are mature and adult enough to engage in conversations without insulting, without calling names, without throwing anybody under the bus, without being immature and reckless in the comment section, without coming for other people in the comment section. If I see any of that activity, you will be blocked, and there's no second chances with me. Period, point blank. We're all adults. Please act like it. So now, a lot of people have said when they gave their opinion, Nyla would basically, allegedly, pretty much overreact and drag them, insult them, make them feel small, make them feel like they're not welcomed. And, if you're a viewer and you've experienced that, I do understand how that can make you feel. It is public humiliation. Now, a lot of Nyla supporters were in my podcast comment section the last time I came on, and a lot of them had a lot of opinions. I'm just going to go through what their opinions are, and then I'm going to go ahead and pivot to what she has said on her end, so we could get both sides of the stories from people who are not afraid to say their opinion, who are not yes men and yes women. Those are the people in my comment section. If you go to wherever she is now, you're going to get a bunch of yes men, a bunch of followers, a bunch of people who are not thinking for themselves, a bunch of people who are not holding her accountable. And that's not going to help in her growth. That's actually going to hurt her in the long run. And there is a reason why she's not on YouTube. There's a reason why people who do not take accountability, they don't go very far, not only on the internet when you're trying to succeed, but in real life when you're trying to upgrade and do bigger and better things. People who don't take accountability, they don't go far, they limit themselves. And people who don't tell the truth and speak up and give constructive criticism, those are called enablers. So she has a bunch of enablers, a bunch of people who chose to turn a blind eye to the extremely hateful, derogatory, arrogant manner in which she operated her YouTube channel and the way that she spoke to people. Those were the two biggest concerns. Her talking down on others, thinking she's better than others is what a lot of people said. And her basically how she spoke to people. So if you know she's speaking to people, in my opinion, if you're speaking to people like that on the internet, you speak to people like that in real life. That includes your spouse. That includes your children, possibly. That includes maybe coworkers and other people. And these are the type of people, from my experience, who blame other people for their own reaction to what was said, right? So we're just going to give both ends here. We're going to give both sides here. And I'm going to try to be as fair as possible. All right. So I'm just going to read some comments and then I'm going to get into what she's currently doing and what she has actually been up to, which was a red flag to me. All right. So let me go ahead and we'll start with the comment section. I took some notes here so that I can stay on track. I appreciate everybody who's leaving a comment. Let's just get right into it. Now, my last podcast was entitled Nyla Says Grown Woman Vibes Channel Deleted. Was Cynthia G involved? Many subscribers commented that Nyla Says commentary was funny at times, but they did admit that she possessed a mean girl personality that could be very easily perceived as bullying. Others claimed that Nyla Says and Cynthia G's commentary was often very harsh, demeaning, and insulting towards both the individuals that they spoke about and the people that disagreed with their point of views. Now, this is something that is against YouTube guidelines. Now, when you are targeting individuals, when you're making fun of their physical features, when you are making fun of their religion or things like that, education, economical status, this is considered cyberbullying, and it even can be considered harassment on YouTube. A lot of people stated that this was what her videos turned into, especially when she covered the Shirley Strawberry and Nesto topics. Just because you don't like what somebody's actions are doesn't give you the right to bully people or to target people or to make them feel like they're not capable or they can't come back from whatever mistake that they made. Everyone deserves a right to grow from their mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And just because people are celebrities, don't give anyone the right to make them feel or make them the object of their trash talking. All right. So even if the person is celebrities or the people are celebrities, even if they're public figures, even if the story's public, even if the calls are public, harassment and cyberbullying is a completely different thing. As I stated in my last podcast, there's one thing to give your opinion and give it in a constructive, classy, mature way. And there's another thing to just drag people, insult people, and make them feel less than, and consecutively and continuously target them on a daily basis for your own profit, for your own entertainment, so that you could laugh at somebody. But people forget that karma will come around. A lot of people believe in karma. I believe in you reaping what you sow. You plant those seeds, you're going to eat that fruit. And in this case, she planted these seeds and she's eating the fruit that she planted from the seeds that she planted on her channel. And her whole community is suffering from that. So be aware of that. Just because you don't like someone's actions doesn't give you the right to target them maliciously, to say mean things about them or their family, to stalk them, to harass them. That's against YouTube's guidelines. Now, again, I don't have anything personal against her or Cynthia G or whoever may come up in this conversation, because they were together. So it's kind of like guilty by association. You are who you are with. You are who your friends are. There's no separation. So we can see that her and Cynthia G have similar personalities, similar beliefs, and this has trickled down into their followers' mindsets. So now you have grown people acting like mean girls, acting like mean guys, coming together and targeting people and bullying people. That is against YouTube's guidelines in terms of service. Now, we're going to go ahead and touch back on what people said in the comment section. Now, a few people's opinion, again, we kind of touched on this, was that allegedly Nyla says would often insult other people's looks. She would dox other people. She would brag about herself, including her material wealth and or possessions, and even maybe her education. I don't know if she's educated or not, but what that is called is educational arrogance. When someone uses their education to look down on other people, people who may not be as educated, or they may not be as witty, or may not be as good with their words or good at communication as she may be. So then she looks down on those people, makes fun of how they're talking, the words that they're using, their educational status or lack thereof, employment or unemployment status. And even people have said that she looked down on people's marital status as well, especially if they were single, just like some of the men that her followers love to call out. She would make people feel bad or shame people for being single, or shame people for not being married. And that is a red flag. But again, enablers, they won't call this out. And when you see this type of behavior, it needs to be called out in a constructive way. You have the power to unfollow. You have the power to unsubscribe. You have the power to keep your money in your pocket. You have the power to not engage. You have the power to do that. And you have more power than you think as a viewer, as a subscriber, as a member. Okay? Because you guys, you gals, you are what fuels us content creators to continue to go or to stop in a lot of cases. So it's a team effort. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's us as a team working towards a common goal. And the goal is to continue to grow, continue to learn from our mistakes, continue to show a good example and have good success, not just success, because success can be bad and it can be good. Evil people have success. You see that on YouTube. But we want to have good success on this side. So that's the goal for us. And hopefully content creators can learn from their mistakes. All money is not good money. And I want to say shame on the brands who pay these type of content creators, regardless of their morals, regardless of their ethics, regardless of the way they treat people, regardless of the way they speak to people, they still are just looking at the number of subscribers, and they're paying these type of content creators to promote their brand in their YouTube video just because they're looking at the numbers. I wouldn't buy from those type of brands either. Any brand that lacks humility, any person that lacks humility, any brand that lacks integrity, and they choose these type of people, I wouldn't buy from them either. You have the power to keep your money in your pocket, keep your like in your pocket, keep that subscription in your pocket. Choose wisely. Utilize the options that you have, right? Now, a lot of people thought that both Cynthia G and Nyla's channels, their content was all about making money, and noted that only people who gave money were recognized and acknowledged, and those who did not were ignored. So this made it seem to a lot of people that money was the motivation, that money was more important than making the personal connections that us content creators are supposed to make. That money was more important than networking with other content creators and maybe finding other people with like minds who can maybe bring a positive change to the platform and to people's real lives. But no, this was a bunch of negativity, a bunch of salaciousness, a bunch of drama, a bunch of nastiness, a lot of supporters of hers and people who watch, they commented on that. And that's a number one way to tell whether a YouTube content creator is on here just because they're looking to get their rent paid. They're looking to pay their bills. They don't want to get a 9-to-5. They don't want to work because they don't want to work under rules. They don't want people to hold them accountable. Most content creators who are trying to make this their full-time job, they don't want to be held accountable, and they don't want to put in hard work and responsibility that it takes to be successful at an actual workplace. They rather just do what they want, say what they want, and they think that that's going to get them where they want to be. In a lot of cases, that gets them the opposite, where they don't want to be, which is terminated from YouTube, right? So if you are considering being a content creator, think about that. This is not the way to go. Dragging people, talking about people, hairlines and edges and everything like that. You're supposed to be a grown woman. You're supposed to be a grown adult. We are not in high school anymore, but you can really see who were the high school bullies through these type of adults who never grew up. And no matter how much education you get, experience you get, blessings you get, you still get people with this type of mentality because they still haven't learned. All right. Now, many commentators noted that whenever Nyla was done with her live shows, she would tell her subscribers that she was heading over to her spouse's channel, which was Taz exclusive. And that would pretty much suggest that they should follow her to his channel and equally support him the same way that they support her, regardless of the topic that he's talking about, regardless of what they truly thought about his delivery and aggressiveness and or content. And a lot of people said that they did not like that either. They didn't like how they were constantly encouraged and influenced to go to someone else's channel just because they are the spouse of Nyla Says, just because that's her man. Come support my man so we both can have this income. A lot of people said it looked desperate. A lot of people said Taz was piggybacking off of Nyla. This is in their own opinion and allege, okay? But this is just what people were saying in the comment section. So I just want to touch on that. It was a lot of enablers who were blocked. A lot of enablers said that Nyla and Cynthia G supporters they claimed, actually the supporters claimed, that neither one of these ladies was hateful, nor did they do anything wrong to have their channels terminated. And I kind of raised an eyebrow to that. I'm like, okay, so if no one did anything wrong, then why was there a punishment? Why was there a consequence? Again, on this channel with my supporters, I tell people to call me out whenever or if ever I start to go left. Constructively call me out or stop following me at that point until I get myself together. All right. Because I don't want people who are followers. I want real people who follow me. I want real people who support the content. I want to be held accountable for the things that I say, the things that I do. I want to be held accountable for my growth, because this will help you guys too. All right. When I could positively affect people on the internet, that trickles down to their real life. Right. So when I saw people just completely saying, oh, they didn't do anything wrong, and blaming YouTube, as if YouTube uploaded those videos, as if YouTube was spreading hateful rhetoric, as if YouTube was making their followers go and harass or attack other people and call people names because of their physical features. That is a huge red flag. And you can't believe that these people are actually adults. And then you say, okay, no wonder why there's so many people like this in the world. There's so many of our youth acting this way, because look at their parents acting a fool on the internet. Just take a look at the parents and you will see why the child is that way in a lot of instances. Unfortunately, it has to do with how people operate in their own homes, and that includes when they're on the internet. All right. Now, we're going to kind of wrap it up. I'm not going to stay on here too long. I have a few more points, and then I'm going to get into what I see she's doing with her subscribers, or the people that follow her enablers. Now, some viewers, they thought that the behavior of Nyla Says, Cynthia G, and Taz exclusives, what they displayed was unhinged behavior, and they have displayed, according to these people and allegedly, unhinged behavior over the years. And what they try to do when someone doesn't agree with them is they publicly humiliate them, right? They will put their picture maybe in the video, or call them out in a post, or call them out if they see them in a chat, curse them down, say demeaning things. This is their way of trying to feel like they are in control, because they can't take an opposing opinion, or they are unable to respond. Instead, they just emotionally react to every fool who's in the comment section. And at one point, I believe every YouTube content creator, if they are unlearned in that way, they react the same way. But it comes a point where you have to grow from that. You cannot entertain foolishness. And if you entertain foolishness, foolishness will multiply. If you nip it in the bud, don't respond, don't acknowledge, and just simply block that person, that ends it right there. That ends the stupidity. That ends the foolishness. That ends the attention. Trying to grab attention. That ends it all right there. And actions speak louder than words. Typically, that will show others that they cannot be disrespectful, that they cannot act the fool, that they have to respect your platform and to respect you as a content creator, or go and watch someone else. Right? So we have to learn that as content creators, that you cannot give attention to fools. You have to nip it in the bud. Nip it right then and there. Okay, some content creators think that helps with engagement. No, that helps with negative engagement. We don't want negative engagement. We want positive engagement, because in all reality, positive content is going to outlast negative content all day, every day. All right. So that's what people was saying. It's a lot of unhinged behavior, a lot of collectively coming together and targeting individuals and things like that. Now, others wondered why Taz exclusive glued himself to women, glued himself to his spouse. And some said he was pandering to black women. And now his true colors are coming out. He's calling certain women names. He's saying certain things like, I did this, I protected y'all this entire time, things like that. And it's like, hold on. So you're doing content just so that you can gain the support of black women because these same black women follows or supports your spouse. So you're basically saying that what you've been doing have been fake this entire time, and you're not really into what your spouse is saying. You're not really into the women that your spouse is engaged with. You're really just doing this for a YouTube check, is what I get. You're doing this to get these women support, because with support comes monetary support in a lot of instances, cash apps and super chats and things like that. And if someone doesn't have a actual job or career outside of YouTube, that could be a big deal to some people. Otherwise, it's like, how do you got all this time if you have a job and you doing other things? How do you got all this time on YouTube? A lot of people have said that in the comment section. So I wanted to bring that up. Again, nothing personal against him or anyone that I mentioned. This is simply what the comment section said from people who are coming from their heart with real commentary. Okay. Now, some people also said that they joined Nyla Says Grown Woman Vibes membership exclusively for the Shirley Strawberry content, but did not care for all the other mess that came with it. They just wanted to hear the story and get the update. But instead, they heard the story, got the update with some insults and derogatory behavior and language and all this chaotic stuff. And they wasn't there for that. They simply wanted to hear an update on the story that they have been following. They also saw that Nyla Says allegedly would, again, I mentioned this kind of in my old podcast or my last podcast, but I'm just reiterating what people said in the comments. They said that they watched multiple people cover the Shirley Strawberry story. So when Nyla Says has subliminal things to say, or she would say, well, we did our research, or call out people who did their research or things like that, they weren't there for that. They want to support whoever they want to support, no matter if the content creator like them or not. They want the freedom to be able to comment on someone else's video who did a great job and give them that credit that they deserve without people from other channels bullying them or telling the content creator, oh, guess who I saw in so-and-so's comment section. You know, these are adults. They don't want to be monitored. You can't put them on a leash. If someone else is covering Shirley Strawberry and they did a better job than you did because they kept it professional, they kept it classy, they were friendly, they reached out personally to everybody in the chat, they said hello to everybody, it wasn't all about money, then they deserve that credit. And a lot of times content creators get jealous when you give someone their credit for doing a good job. And this prevents content creators from continuing on a subject if they feel they're not being supported. Okay. Now, a lot of commentators, and I'm going to wrap it up. A lot of commentators said that Nyla Says Grown Woman Vibes seemed to be a follower of the Black Women Empowerment or BWE movement. But as soon as she fell out with Cynthia and Woman's Fear, she was no longer a part of that movement. Her videos changed. Everything kind of changed. She still had some beliefs that her and Cynthia G shared. However, a lot of the content changed because her last channels, plural, were deleted and terminated for the very same reason why her most recent channel was terminated from YouTube. And the thing of it is, she still hasn't learned her lesson. Cynthia G still hasn't learned her lesson. And this is why they're no longer on YouTube. It's not YouTube's fault. YouTube didn't do it. You did it. Take accountability for what you do on your platform, right? Now, I want to kind of go ahead and pivot to what she is currently doing, what I've seen her doing. Just me observing this type of behavior is kind of alarming. Now, what she's doing is trying to make it seem like she was the one being bullied by everyone else. And she's basically, in my opinion, playing the victim, right? So I'm going to read what she told YouTube. All right. And you can see the snippet of that on the thumbnail. And I'm just like, this is not going to help you. Annoying YouTube, telling your subscribers to tag YouTube in Twitter posts or X posts, right? It's called X now. But having your subscribers and your followers and your enablers tag YouTube and tell them how bad they are and how they unfairly terminated your channel and how they're not protecting you. This is not going to help you. And this is what I'm talking about. You got grown people doing whatever she tells them to do. So are you an adult or are you her child? Let me know something, because I'm confused. She tell you to say this, you say it. She tell you to do this, you do it. Right? But then you got an issue when a man tells you that. Now, see, I don't want to go left here, but you got an issue when it comes to a man telling you certain things, because they love to bring up Kevin Samuels and this and that. Let's stay on topic. You jump when she tells you to jump. You get on your knees when she tells you to get on your knees. If she says, say this, you say it. Those are her followers. That is currently what they're doing. Now, she told her followers to, one, complete a form, basically making her out to be some angelic content creator who was basically formulating a positive following in a positive channel, and everything was positive. This is what she's telling people to do. Complete these Google forms and basically lie to YouTube and say that this was a positive community when you got over 200 comments from my last video and podcast saying that it wasn't positive. In fact, it was very negative. It was very nasty. It was very low down for the most part. So tell me something I'm not getting. If the people says that that's not what it was, why are you telling them to say something that it was not? And you got these adults actually listening like she is their mama. So it's starting to look like a cult following. No questions asked. Just do as I say. Right? I'm not going to tell y'all what to do, but here is these words, and put this verbatim and post it on Twitter and tag YouTube. But I'm not going to tell y'all what to do. I don't want you to feel pressured to do nothing you don't want to do. Right? So she's using manipulation tactics. Giving people words to say. So they're not thinking for themselves. She's putting words in their head to say, tag YouTube, do this, do that. And none of that stuff actually gets a content creator's YouTube channel back. What actually happens is it makes YouTube, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it makes them come to the conclusion even faster to not reinstate a person's channel. because that's an example of what people said in the comment section. She would have her subscribers do certain things or fall in line, like some people said. And that is a dangerous behavior. It's a dangerous mentality to have, not thinking for yourself, drinking the Kool-Aid, doing whatever your favorite content creator says to do. You're no better than a child, right? You have a childlike mentality. So she told them to do that, fill out the form. She's telling them what to say on YouTube, right? Here is the tweet. Say this. Okay, correct it. Do this. Say it like this. Put it this way. Tag them this way. Put these hashtags here. And that's what a lot of content creators do when they're terminated. And honestly, that is not the way YouTube works. YouTube will have oftentimes, in not every case, but oftentimes they will allow you to appeal their decision. Now, through the appealing process, YouTube will decide whether to reinstate a channel or to keep them terminated. All this stuff on X/Twitter, all this stuff, filling out forms, that is nothing but to help her ego and her confidence and to see how you thought about her, in my opinion. But that doesn't help a YouTube channel come back to life. That doesn't help reinstate a terminated channel. So y'all doing all this for nothing. Honestly, that's not how YouTube works. You appeal the decision and then YouTube will give it maybe a week or two to come back and they give you the final answer. Okay, we read your appeal and we still think the same thing. And because we've seen this behavior from your followers on other social media platforms, that even confirms what everybody said in the comment section, that this was a very negative community where the followers did everything that the leader did, which is publicly shaming, bullying, doxing, whatever it was. That only confirms what people have been saying who are coming from an objective place. Right? Now I'm going to read this tweet that she tagged YouTube in, right? Blaming YouTube for her downfall, for her channel termination. She said, for 6 years, I've dealt with slander and bullying that appears to be supported by YouTube. Now, we know YouTube do not support bullying and they do not support slander. Now, slander is something you have to take to court. So that's a legal matter. And YouTube, they don't get involved in legal matters. You have to have your own attorney. If you're trying to sue somebody for, say, copyright infringement, defamation, or slander, like Cardi B did to Tasha K. YouTube is not a legal entity. They may have a legal team, but they're not a legal entity. So that doesn't make sense how YouTube could allow slander. If you didn't agree with the slander, then you should have hired an attorney to go ahead and sue the individuals that you are claiming slandering you for 6 years. I mean, that's a long time. Why haven't you done anything about it? Right? So this is what she put. She said, at Team YouTube, for 6 years, I've dealt with slander and bullying that appears to be supported by YouTube. I have 6 years of documentation of myself and others, reporting channels for A, B, and C. I'm not going to repeat the craziness that she put on here because it's very extreme. And I find that to be very, very, it's a exaggeration in my opinion. Yeah. If this was the case, you should have went to the police. You should have got a lawyer and you should have handled it. From what she writing, this is something you take to your local authorities. But yet she tagged YouTube, and this is someone who wants YouTube to reinstate their channel. This is not going to work. She said, my bank account and SSN numbers are also on videos. YouTube has refused to help me, but YouTube has no issue remove my growing positive community. My growing positive community. Whoa. What? So dragging women for their edges, for how they look, because you think you look better than them, right? What makes y'all so better than somebody to where you got to drag their physical appearance, right? How low down and immature is that? But she wants to say it was a growing positive community, right? No, she went personal on these people. It's no longer about a public story. She went personal and attacked these people personally, in my opinion. When you making fun of somebody's looks, when you're making fun of their headline, whatever it is, their physical appearance, this is no longer about the objective story of Shirley Strawberry, Nesto, and whoever's involved. This is a personal attack. And that is not allowed on YouTube, no matter how you want to justify it. No matter how much you play victim, no matter how much you try to garner sympathy, it is a violation of YouTube's terms of service and YouTube's community guidelines. Period. She said YouTube has refused to help me, but has no issue removing my growing positive community and tell me that it's to keep YouTube safe from me. So we got a clue right there, right? Because she still hasn't told her followers, her supporters, the people who have put money in her platform and not getting that money back, the members who joined the membership and not getting that money back. She still haven't told them why YouTube deleted her channel, but YouTube clearly puts everything in an email on why your channel is terminated. Otherwise, you can't appeal. You can't appeal something when you don't know what you did wrong, right? You got to know what you did wrong first in order to appeal it. That's just common sense. Now, she's saying, here's the clue. She said, but YouTube deleted her to keep people safe from her, to keep the YouTube community safe from her. They terminated her. That's basically what she's saying in this tweet. So if YouTube needs to terminate you to keep the community safe, that means you are the problem. That means you need to reevaluate your delivery, what you've been doing, your content. Did she reevaluate anything? No. Did she take time to think about it? No. Even when she claimed to have been sick, right? Which I thought was another manipulation tactic in order to garner sympathy and play the victim. How are you sick and you're still talking about Nesto and Shirley Strawberry and everybody involved? Why are you so obsessed with these people and their lives and what they got going on? It's a distraction from your own life, typically. Your own chaos, your own drama, your own cheating spouse, allegedly, your own this and your own mess and your own dirt and your own stress is all a distraction. This is why you're hyper-focused on these people. You need a distraction from your life, in my opinion. That's what people do. That's what people do, right? Now, she also said, yet YouTube has never made the community safe for me. Well, YouTube have community guidelines, cyberbullying, harassment, privacy, all these type of guidelines to keep everybody safe. They got the blocking feature where you can block people who are doing this to you. They got the reporting feature where you can report people who are attacking you. So what are you saying? What do you mean? Please tell us what you mean by YouTube is not keeping you safe. And we're going to go on a deeper level, right? I thought that's what your spouse was for. So now you're putting YouTube in the place of your spouse. You're wanting YouTube to protect you. But like you tell single women out there, they ain't got no man, but you got a man. But you're putting the responsibility of protection on YouTube. Why can't your spouse protect you? Why couldn't he go to the authorities and handle this? No, y'all had to do things y'all way on YouTube, curse people out, drag them publicly humiliate them, deflect from what's really going on when you could have done legal action if you wanted to. You could have took this to a serious level, but obviously it wasn't that serious if you let it happen for 6 years and didn't do nothing about it. Right? So she's blaming YouTube for not protecting her, for not making the YouTube internet community safe for her, and has ignored the blatant disregard for her rights, right? It's all about her, for her rights. She then says, are you complicit with the harassment and bullying of myself and my family and punishing me for at times defending myself? You were always on defense mode from what I could perceive. With every action was a reaction. You just reacted to everything, every comment, every time somebody didn't like what you said, every time this and every time that, react, curse them out, drag them down, flaunt your wealth, flaunt your education, flaunt your man, flaunt your hot tub, flaunt your pool and possessions. But if you were really happy, you wouldn't be on YouTube acting like that. My goodness. Let's keep it 100, right? You get mad when people say that you and Taz is a struggle love. Oh, my black man not like that, right? That was the whole issue. That's the whole reason why her woman's feel fell out. Oh, well, I don't have experience like that. Apparently you do. Apparently you're the one in control, because with a mouth like that, I doubt that he can control you. My God, these educated women think they're so much better than these type of men. And this is how they talk. This is how they talk down to anybody. They don't care who you are. A lot of educated women do that. They think they make it all the money. They're the macho. They the macho man, right? They wearing the pants. They tell you what to do, right? And you can see that in their dynamic. And that's just my opinion. But then this trickles down to YouTube. Right now, I'm a believer in the saying, as a man thinketh, so in his heart, so is he. So anything that come out your mouth, you have to have thought of it first. So everything that came out her mouth, everything that comes out of anyone's mouth, that's who they are. Unless and until they correct their mistakes, they grow from the type of people that they are now, it's going to continue to be that way on and off the internet. On and off the internet. So those are my thoughts. I just had to get that all out there, because I think it's really sad how people have to resort to manipulation, to lying, to ordering subscribers and followers to do something. Look, what I've learned is you don't have to tell anybody to do anything. If you're doing right, people gonna do right by you. That good karma, those good seeds are going to grow into good fruit, right? It's going to come back around. You don't have to tell and manipulate and pull here and pull there. You ain't even got to worry. If you did right by YouTube, if you followed the guidelines, then you should have faith and confidence that you will be back on YouTube. But apparently she doesn't. That's why she's going to drastic measures to have people do this and do that. And she was even allegedly on Taz's channel in a video, and he deleted the video because he knows that if YouTube got wind of that, his channel would be at risk for deletion. So this is the level of silliness that a lot of content creators who have been terminated from YouTube, they go. It's really a sight to see. And I believe if you were a good person, if you did good and you didn't do anything wrong, first and foremost, you would have never been removed from YouTube. Secondly, YouTube give chances in the form of channel strikes, warnings, guideline warnings, to give people a chance at the chance to correct their behavior, because they know that no one's perfect. And they give you the benefit of the doubt the first time. Maybe you didn't know the community guidelines, but when you have multiple channels deleted, you really don't have no excuse. Do better. Be better. Take time off the internet and reflect on yourself and how you treat people, because people are always going to remember how you treated them. With that being said, y'all, I am done. Okay. I just wanted to get that out there because I just felt that you don't have to do all that If you are confident that you were a good person, that you did good, good's going to always come back to you. Period, point blank. And I'm going to tell you right now, she is not getting her channel back. Just like Cynthia G is not getting her channel back. And whoever else was terminated are not getting their channels back. People like this, they need to learn their lesson. Period. This is not about ego. This is not about what people think. You should be worried about how you made yourself look, how you made other people feel, and how that affects your reputation on and off of YouTube. That's what people should worry about. Let's all learn from this. We don't have anything personal against these people, but this is just something that could have been prevented and wasn't. And while we are on YouTube now, everybody who's listening to me, all the content creators who are still here, let's learn from this. Let's grow from this. Let's get back to 9-to-5 jobs so you ain't got to depend on YouTube to put money in your pocket. Let's get back to putting in the work. Let's stop being lazy. Let's get back to holding ourselves accountable, to being responsible as an adult. Let's get back to that. With that being said, y'all, I appreciate every one of y'all listening, tuning in. Like, share, comment, and subscribe if you feeling me, you feeling what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to harp on this subject anymore. I've said what I've said. Hopefully these 2 podcasts could resonate with y'all. All right. Shout out to my channel members and everyone who has supported me and watched me grow. I'm going to continue to grow. There's always something to learn. I'm not perfect. Been there, done that. But I am able to say that I've grown from that. All right. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Happy June 1st. All right. Happy June 1st. And shout out to everybody who have a birthday this month. Y'all take care, man. Take care of yourself. Protect your spirit. Use discernment. Research these folks, man. If they are not being good people, stop supporting them. Don't encourage this behavior, especially if you wouldn't encourage your own children or your own family to act this way. Stop encouraging people on the internet to act this way and stop supporting people like this. With that being said, man, y'all be blessed. I appreciate y'all. Stay out the mess. Be blessed, y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next podcast and video. I'm out, y'all. Peace.